Hey, Lucky.
How are ya?
What's up?
You are sweating. Look at your forehead. Very shiny.
Shiny, no, it's just shiny.
Is it
My
shiny?
forehead. It's
Yeah.
got my hairline.
We got Joanna.
Hi.
Hello. And we got Erick, Vladimir Gunai.
How are you, sir?
Vladimir. You're not
Yes.
even Russian, bro.
No, I
You
wish
are-
I have a Russian in me though.
Your-
Sorry, that didn't sound right.
Your accent is... What did you say? You wish you had some Russian in you? Wow. Okay, cool. Well, that... all right. Go, Erick. Vladimir Gunai. That's an interesting name. Well, like, how did that... That's so interesting, actually.
Just call me Eric instead.
Erick. Okay, cool. But I want to know how Vladimir... How'd your parents...
My parents decided to name me Vladimir.
Vladimir.
For, I don't know what the
Yeah,
reason
yeah,
was.
We had an uncle.
Because your accent is
Russian uncle.
definitely not Russian.
And not also
Yeah. Or you've also been here for the last 30 years and you still held it as if you just came from Baraka yesterday.
I don't know what to say to you about that.
Anyways, this is what it is. But guys, thank you so much for coming through. Look, I wanna kind of talk about a couple of things. First and foremost, what do you do for work, Joey? Tell me.
So I work as an oral health therapist
Yeah.
at a orthodontic practice. So if
All
you
right.
need some straight teeth, you know who to come to.
Yeah, my teeth are bung, but yeah, keep going.
Yeah, that's my full-time job. I've been doing this for 16 years.
Wow,
And
cool.
part-time model as
You're
well.
also a part-time model.
Yeah.
Like you're pretty big in the Filipino community. You guys are both Filipino.
Yes.
It's like, I'm sure I'm Filipinos. Yeah. Yeah, you were saying, so you're also a part-time model as well.
Yes.
Yeah, awesome. And yourself, Erick, what do you do?
I work at logistics.
Oh, yeah,
I
cool.
work at the ports, actually.
Yeah, awesome.
Not at the waterfront, but
Yeah.
one of the...
You actually hold
management-
a fairly senior role at
Yes.
the ports.
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
the operations superintendent over there.
Wow.
So, which is the third level up.
Wow.
But yeah,
Interesting.
so-
Well done. Congratulations to both of your careers. Now, we've been working together for the last couple of years. First, it was in finance and we kind of collaborated around that. And today we kind of want to talk about that specifically. Like, I know you guys are also parents. You guys dropped off your kids today too, yeah?
Yeah,
Yes.
first day of kindy.
First day of kindy. Yeah,
Very
mine
emotional.
was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I dropped mine off and I was just like, see ya. So I cried a little bit. So
A lot.
yeah, I cry, and then that's okay. But talking about kids, you guys have amassed quite a massive property portfolio. We did the last valuations on the properties.
Yep.
Kind of like nearing that kind of 5 mil mark,
wow.
which is great. And the funny thing is, we don't even talk about this because
I was like, I didn't even know
I saw
that.
your
That's-
reaction.
that's
This is you.
news- That's
Really?
news to us.
Yeah, so
Really?
we did a couple of these vows, and it looks really good. First, obviously, you built it kind of accidental property investing,
Mhm.
and then now it sounds a bit more purposeful. So you first started, you bought your owner occupied house. Kind of tell me about that first one. So where do you guys live now?
So we live in Colby.
Okay,
So we
wicked.
bought back in 2015.
Yeah,
Before
yeah.
we got married, we bought the
Oh yeah,
property.
nice.
That's when properties was obviously quite low.
Mm.
You know, we were lucky to get it
Especially
for
in
like,
Sydney, yeah.
yeah, 600
Yeah.
something thousand for like a 4-bedroom, 2 double story house. And yeah, so you were there to help us through that too.
Yeah. In yes, I was.
Yeah.
Yeah. And look, property prices back in Colby or that side of town in Sydney was nothing, right?
Yeah.
Now it's like
Nice,
you know,
double that.
Yeah. Now
Yeah.
it's like 200 squares for like 1.5 million
Yeah.
bucks. So and that's been super interesting. Then obviously throughout the years, you guys have kind of built some equity.
Yep.
Initially
Mhm.
we came to a refinance, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
well,
Yeah.
that's the whole... I think that's what pushed it.
Right.
It's like when we spoke to you about it,
Yeah.
the equity came out
Mm.
and you suggested that we got two options.
Yeah.
It's literally to get a lower interest rate
Mhm.
or to use the equity for an
Yeah.
investment property.
Yeah, nice.
And which we chose the latter, obviously.
Yeah, cool.
So-
Yeah, awesome. And that's good. Look, obviously, well done on taking the advice there. So I just want to make something short. The current valuation, apologies, your current valuation about $3.5 million, but we're nearing towards 5 million, which is the total plan for the portfolio, which is there. There's plenty of equity been built up over the other couple of properties. So yeah, so we did the first Colby property. We released a little bit of equity,
Yeah.
right? And then what was the next acquisition? What was the next
The
purchase?
Cessnock.
The
property.
Cessnock property.
Yes. That was a dual occupancy.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you guys wanted to talk about some cash flow, and then the Cessnock property came up. right?
Yes.
And no one was doing dual occupancies back then. Like, what was the reaction?
Yeah, we're surprised. You said it was a big catch, so we're like,
Yeah.
go for it.
Yeah, 100%.
It was a surprise for us as well because we like what you said, we never experienced or researched anything about dual occupancy.
Yeah.
Until you and your team brought it up to us.
Yeah, cool.
And so it was good.
Because it was such a new process, like as in dual occupancies, like there should have been some anxiety. You're like, what is a dual occupancy property? Did you guys know much about that?
Your team helped us out in a way to understand how the dual occupancy works. So, but I think the process of the finance side of things, your team managed.
Yeah, cool.
That bit.
Yeah, nice.
But for us, it's more the anxiety came about. It's like the land registration, council approval.
I think that's the headache with brand new properties, and you guys have experienced this. Anything that's off the plan, anything that's brand new, you got to go through approvals, you got to go through council, et cetera. And then there was a big hiccup, right? Remember this massive hiccup?
Yeah.
What happened to the hiccup? You guys want to tell me? What happened to the hiccup?
Talk about that.
Yeah, go ahead. You can say it.
So our builder went to bankruptcy.
Yeah.
The original builder.
The original builder went bankrupt. Right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people talk about this topic because everyone's like, oh yeah, let's just talk about the positive stuff. But the builder went bankrupt. Did you guys have the land then or not yet?
Yes.
Yeah. So you guys already bleeding on the land.
Yeah.
So
it was already
we went
signed
through
and
the insurance process.
Yep.
And that's why, guys out there, if you guys are going through a house and land, or you guys are going through any process when it comes to off the plan, make sure that your builder has the insurance right at the go. So at least you guys are insured for the build. And lucky that the builder did right and actually had insurance. And it was a pretty easy process to get a new builder on and build, which is fantastic. I think you guys have probably got a better house now anyway.
Yeah.
Then the first design, after lots of abusing.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming you guys were super stressed.
Oh, that was so stressful.
Well, it was a lesson learned for all of us, really. Especially when I got the call from your team.
Yeah, of course.
I was at work and my phone rang. It's like, oh, by the way.
Yeah.
Just to let you know.
Yeah. We found that through Daily Mail, actually. And we were like,
I think we saw that. We're like,
actually I came back from Bali and we did projects there. We came back and we were just like, the builder just liquidated. And it was interesting time during this period because this is what like every single builder was like closing down like every 3 days. Right?
That's true.
We had builder fall down every 3 days. We're like, what is happening? Interest rates was climbing. Like this was probably like the start of rates bleeding everyone, including you guys, and going, the fuck do I do with this?
That was post-COVID, I think.
Yeah. 100%. But look, that actually built fairly well, and that was good. So we bought that for we bought that for just under, say, 650-ish, right? Which is good. And it was, and now it's being rented for the first unit is 510. And has that climbed up a little bit higher now? 560 now. 560.
Yep.
Great. And what's the other unit leased for?
380.
380. Yeah, I got 380, but that's fantastic. So the yield on this is, you guys are in a positive. There's positive cash flow happening there, which is really good. The last valuation. So obviously before this podcast, we do valuations on the property. It's just underneath $1 million, which is great. So that kind of tells you that there's plenty of equity inside there too. We made around about 42% growth on that. How does it feel? I don't even think you know this.
No, I didn't even know that.
In all seriousness, like,
tell me.
we spoke about it before. I was like, oh, it's been a year now. Should do an evaluation, I think, for the Cessnock property.
Yeah, of course.
And now you're telling me this. I'm like, oh,
there's,
sounds good.
The Cessnock has increased quite a lot. And just because over in Cessnock, like if people don't know the area, it's kind of going north-ish in Sydney, but north-ish, central-ish. Anyways, north-central. So most of the land there's getting smaller, so it's actually a little bit difficult to do CDC compliant on dual occupancy properties or duplexes. So a lot of before you can get massive lands with massive frontages, and you can do dual occupancies under CDC. But now they're a little bit more smaller, not still big, but smaller. So you have to go through the DA process, which is a little bit longer process, and it's actually just more expensive. And I think you guys have locked in an amazing kind of build cost versus that. So Congratulations to you both.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Booyah.
Credit to you and your team.
Come on.
You know.
No. You guys made the decision. We're just here to help out. Man, Armin, this is very girthy. Very.
So,
Can't focus.
Yeah, I can't focus. Anyway, it's all good. Cool. So, and guys, remember, this is a property podcast, but we wanted to have a conversation. I try to entertain as much as I can, but we still want to learn too. So that's well done. So okay, so now that's done. And how you been managing this? Like during that period, like obviously there was no rental. How are you guys managing cash flow?
well, the way we set up our accounts is like my salary alone will cover as much as the
mortgage?
most of the mortgages.
Yeah,
Anyway.
cool.
Especially while we're waiting for the rent for the
Right.
tenants to happen.
Yeah,
The
of
issue
course.
that we had for the Cessnock property was when it was after it finished getting built.
Yeah, okay.
There were no tenants straight off the bat.
Right.
So obviously we had.
When
to
did you get your
advertise.
first tenants?
November.
The one bedroom was
November.
occupied first.
Okay.
Because it was just right before Christmas.
Makes
So
sense. Makes
Yeah.
sense.
It was hard. So maybe a month and a bit with
Yeah.
no tenants
yeah.
for the 3-bedroom, which was a
Yeah.
bit stressful, but that was Christmas. So
Of course.
yeah.
But now,
2023. Yeah. So
but now you got really good long-term tenants there.
Yeah, the one bedroom long term, she's been there like more than a year now. The 3-bedroom, we just
Got a new
lost our
one.
tenant.
Yeah, right.
Start of the year.
Fantastic. Okay.
But we just getting one signed up now.
Yeah, well
So,
done. Fantastic.
it's
That's at the higher end too.
560,
Yes, yeah, the
correct.
560.
Yeah, well
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
Wow, well done. That's fantastic. Okay, cool. So singular property, we made 42% growth. Fantastic. And then we did a review again.
Yep.
And then so happened, we're like, there's more equity. And that's the case. There was kind of
Yep.
two options. We either kind of left it the way it is.
Yep.
And then we just made an assessment. We said, okay, cool. You guys can kind of go again. So let's talk about that. This property, this is a great story, this one. So you want to tell me about that story?
The first one?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. It was
He's
very
very
good
excited about that
actually.
Tell
So how it came about is obviously we decided to refinance
Yep.
because the interest rate for her owner-occupied property,
It's gonna expire.
the
It's going to expire. I was going to
the variable interest rate was gonna expire.
You mean the fixed rate?
The fixed.
Oh,
the
sorry,
fixed.
the fixed
Yeah.
rate.
It was at 1.9 back then.
Oh
Yeah.
my God,
I know, we
1.9.
had
How
to let go of the 1.9. We're like,
seriously?
what?
Yeah, 1.9 to
Oh,
7%.
yeah,
You're like, huh?
Yeah,
yeah,
we
yeah.
had to. So I was like,
So we just decided
It's
look,
1.9.
we'll start the process now, even though we're gonna lose a few months
Yeah.
at the back end of
yeah.
it.
course.
And and your team managed to tell us, oh look, yeah, the valuation came back. There's more equity, especially for the Cessnock property now that it's
Of
finished.
course.
And Joe and I basically spoke about it. It's like, oh, get another one.
Yeah, of course.
Just jump on, just
Just
jump on it.
keep
you know?
going. Yeah, you
And
guys have
then,
got two. You guys have got two kids. You're like one each.
Yeah, yeah.
pretty
Yeah,
much.
basically.
And I spoke to
Yeah.
your team, and your team managed to give us
Found
all
it.
the info
Yeah.
Yeah.
about properties, and we decided, well, somewhere by the water,
Yeah, of course.
and
Somewhere by the water.
he
Insane.
managed to pull that off. And without even looking at the property,
Yeah.
like she didn't even know.
Yeah.
I found out after.
yeah.
I just said, oh,
Joey's like, what did you do?
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone
Pretty
goes buy
much.
petrol. This guy's like, oh, I want to buy another property. Joey's
pretty
like,
much.
It's like an addiction. He's like, he's like already asking when's the next one.
when's the
pretty
next one?
much.
Yeah.
After this podcast.
Yeah.
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 Jokes,
So
not
that's
really.
what happened, and it was very I was anxious as well though, because obviously at that time the finance for the whole lot hasn't been approved yet,
Yeah.
but we already signed up for the property. So I
yeah,
was
correct.
like,
We end up
oh,
preserving. So we end up
Yeah.
preserving that security.
Yeah.
With a finance clause.
yeah,
And actually,
Ah.
that's pretty good. So for a lot of people that don't know,
Yeah.
make sure if you are trying to secure a property, both either off the plan, brand new,
Yep.
or existing, just making sure and allowing for things like P&B, so pest and build
Yep.
clauses, which you guys didn't have. It was a brand new property, and or a finance clause. So the
Yep.
good thing about how we structured it is to enter the security or enter the property
Yep.
with full flexibility on the contract to exit it. If, for example,
Yep.
there was unforeseeable future where we couldn't get approvals.
Yep.
Unlikely, but just a heads up. But that was really good. And that one is where was that at? What state?
Perth, Eden
Perth,
Beach.
WA.
Yep,
Yeah,
WA.
literally like right at the front of the beach, which is
Yep.
amazing. And you bought that really cheap. actually, we had a bit of an argument on this, actually. We were like, is Perth good? Is Perth not?
Yeah.
We were kind of talking about that for the longest time. And I was just like, we got to get into Perth. And you're like, at that time, I think you were like, why? No one is there. Like, it's kind of, and then we're like, it's the next one.
Yeah,
And similar to Cessnock, there's kind of no one there when you guys went there.
Yes.
You guys
Now
are there now.
it's-
It's just like, whoomp.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's kind of the one thing that we pride ourselves in, which is kind of finding areas that's just about to take off. So WA, now there is no way you can get a new build at the price that you bought it for,
Yes.
which is insane.
Yes.
So how does that feel?
It's really good, actually.
Yeah. When people or friends found out you bought, 1, 2 properties, etc., how did that really feel for you?
It's for me, it's a catch-22 because I don't want them to think that I'm boasting
Right.
about all the properties that we have right now.
Of course.
But for me, when we spoke about it, when we told people, it's more of like trying to inspire them,
Yeah, nice.
It's not like, oh, look at us kind of thing.
Yeah, of course.
It's like, yeah,
Look at Eric and Joey.
Look at us. But
Yeah, of course.
if we can do it,
Yeah.
if you guys really want to do it, if you guys have the right team to back it all up as well,
Yeah, cool.
you get it all done.
And how about yourself, Joey? Like, I know Eric's been at the start. He was shy. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
He was shy.
I'm like,
no, it's like
"Can I
this.
get a word?"
Yeah.
I'm
And
definitely
yourself?
proud.
Yeah,
So
good.
obviously, we both come from migrant parents. Our parents never had the opportunity
Mm.
to be able to invest as much as they wanted to. So the fact that I know how proud my parents are.
Mm.
To see us, succeed and
Yeah.
have our own house, now have multiple properties. So it's
Yeah.
so very proud.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's awesome. No, I love it. Like, I think we forget what investing does. I think that the normal way of buying property is just to boast, put it on Instagram, Facebook, podcast.
Yeah.
But at the end of it, there's an end goal. Like, you could sell these properties now and literally pay off the whole home loan tomorrow. Really, you could sell one of them and actually pay off the home loan tomorrow and be unencumbered. So Eric's like this, really. Just sell it.
You need to stop giving me ideas.
Yeah. So, look, like I think that's fantastic. Let's keep talking about this WA property, actually. So, it's just about to finish construction. We bought that cheap, kind of like that 550 under 550 mark.
Yes.
Which is insane. Would you like to know the new valuation?
Yes,
We
please.
have no idea.
It is 850.
It's not even finished yet.
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
So we did another as if complete valuation on it. It came in at 850, which is great. So it kind of represents kind of 30, 40-ish, 35% growth on that.
Yep.
Which is an insane number. Just so you know, this specific area that you want to, and I'm not going to say which area it is, but this specific area near the water, there's hardly any land there anymore. And a lot of owner-occupiers have got in, which I said owner-occupied area. The dirt there is really its valued source. And I think WA is still going to pop off, right?
Yeah.
But I think the entry point of WA, you guys have just got in before the flood came in.
Yeah.
Because right now, everyone's trying to get into WA.
Yep.
And you probably will still get some capital growth on that. But your entry points, both of you, your entry point is far exceeded a lot of people who have entered WA in that. So there's still growth in WA. I'm not saying that there's no growth. I just think that it depends on which security type, houses, apartments, townhouses, etc. I still think there's room for WA, but because WA has momentum now, and that's good. So you should feel proud about that too. So what's next? What is next for Joey and Eric? You guys gonna have more kids? Have
No
another
more
one for the
kids.
boys.
Definitely no more
Please,
kids.
one more for the
No
boys.
more. No more.
He's more.
Done.
Yeah, both
Done.
kids are in school. It's kind of like, enjoying the independence. And
Yeah,
like,
nice.
Yeah.
You know how
Okay.
good it is to go out for breakfast?
Man,
like-
I
like
don't know.
early.
Yeah, I've got a
He's
new
not a
baby.
baby.
I have no
So
idea, man.
coffee, no kids.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love it. We love our
You love our
kids.
life. Yeah,
But-
yeah, cool. Okay, shut up.
It's good.
Quiet. All right. No, it's good. Look, and straight up, like, I think yeah, you guys have done fantastic. Like, you guys should be, like, I talk about your story to actually a lot of people just because I think that not a lot of people understand that because they've got equity there, you got to do two things. Let it just stay there and do nothing.
Yep.
Let it use for something.
Yep.
Either
Yeah.
or, the equity is there.
Yep.
So, and you guys have really done that well. And now that equity is going towards effectively these two properties worth kind of like 2 million-ish.
Yep.
Effectively at a very low LVR, kind of 50% LVR, sell those properties. And if you wanted to, minus capital gains tax, obviously, dump it on the home loan, unencumbered home loan, do some debt recycling. So fantastic. And then we caught up on the weekend, which is interesting. And then you were talking about super. Yeah. So
Yes.
I want to talk about that. We've kind of go into that. Why are you interested in super?
Well,
In SMSF purchasing super?
It's more of just trying to diversify, really.
Interesting.
Just to see what else we can do with the money that we have, especially our super fund.
Yeah, of course.
Because obviously I don't have anything against the conventional super management.
Yeah,
but,
makes sense.
I don't really have the visibility of how the money is getting invested in different
I
ways.
love that.
So.
Yeah. Well, no one has visibility. Yeah.
Nah.
Is that how you feel too, Joey?
Yeah, I don't know. The super thing's his thing.
Yeah, it makes sense.
He's
I'll go through a nice little understanding of super.
Yeah, I have no idea.
And I'll do it as simplified just to educate our listeners too. But right now, there is kind of three main asset classes in super, right? You got liquidity, which is cash. You got shares, and then you got property. Right. So, for example, you've got $100,000 in super. Yeah. 100 grand, which is sitting in your super fund. And it's a couple of hundred, but let's say it's 100,000 in this remark. You got 100 grand at say 5%. Yeah. So 100,000 at 5%. Which is, what's that? 5 grand? Yeah. 5 Gs. Yeah. Sorry. I had a brain fart. So 100,000 at 5%. Yeah. The ratio is 1-to-1. So you could only have as much as you have in liquid, right? Now, 100,000 buying a $450,000 property.
Yep.
You made 100 grand into 450.
Yep.
Yeah. That 450 now does 5%. Yeah. Can you see the power of super now?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not going from 100 at 5%. It's actually going 100, buying a property at 450, 450 at 5% equals. Now, you may go, Lucky, what happens if the property drops in value? Great question. If the property drops in value, remember, you've got 100,000 that has bought a $450,000 property. Yeah. There is still debt in that.
Yep.
But really, you got 400, you made 100 grand into 450, right? How do you make it realized 450? You pay down the debt. Who pays down the debt? The tenant. So let's, for example, say that the property stayed 450 for the next 15 years. Okay. So the tenant plus your contributions pays down that super. And you got 100 grand, which is then turned into 450.
Yep.
Yeah. Assuming that the property hasn't grown in value.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Joey's just like, we should be doing this. Joey's just I like teeth. Yeah. Braces.
That's why I leave it up to him.
Yeah. Veneers, braces. Yeah, cool. No, look, that's fantastic. And how's your modeling career going? You guys are, we're seeing it everywhere in the community.
No, it's fine. I do it passionate about
That's
it.
fine.
So.
I love that. We're okay. Yeah. So
I love it. It's I love the connections I make. I'm passionate about it. So it's something, obviously, I love doing my job in health, as a health profession, but this gives me, something, something to do that I
want to actually say one more thing. And you say modeling because we're going to lead into kind of Filipinos. I'm Filipino, right? You guys are too. Except for you, obviously you're Russian. So I want to understand there's I feel strongly about our community, and the reason why I feel strongly about our community, I also think that our community has been led to poor advice. That you kind of agree? I think I think this is a topic that I actually didn't want to talk about today, but since we are in the topic, let's talk about that. It's a bit of a taboo one, but I think that our culture, our thinking needs to inspire, not needs to be kept. And I think there's been a lot of kind of poor advice coming around to the community, kind of agree with that statement, or you don't?
Yeah, I think I do agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
Why
too.
do you agree, Eric?
I agree too, because I think it's more of the being afraid to just take the risk.
Yeah, of course.
Because obviously, I mean, coming here from the Philippines,
Yeah,
it's more of that alone was a risk for my parents itself.
of course.
You know, it was,
I'm so sorry, man.
Yeah.
That was the first time you ever sounded Australian to me. Yeah, coming from the Philippines. that was the first.
Swear that just
Brother,
came
that
out.
was the first time in our 20-year relationship.
I appreciate the feedback.
Yeah. That one word, it was just like,
Did it hit?
Yeah, it hit. I was just like, wow.
You're officially Aussie.
You hit puberty. My God, amazing. No, that's great. I love it. Coming from the Philippines, I was seeing the studio and Armin's laughing. So, coming from the Philippines, tell me.
Yeah, it was just that risk. So people, the way I see it with the community as well, even my parents and the older Filipinos, they're just scared to take the risk. So they just want to be in their comfort zone.
Of course.
Really, yeah.
And then Joey, like you said, you kind of agree with that. So I kind of want to talk about that because I know you, in that you've seen kind of great advice and kind of some poor advice with people in this profession, my profession, which is with Filipinos. Why do you think that? Why do you think Filipinos get just poor advice, or they're just like, yes, cool?
I think it's coming from experience. I don't know, could be right or wrong.
Yeah, go.
But I think it's just like there's some just live beyond their means.
Sure.
So I feel like there's constant debt all the time. So it's like, I don't know, I remember growing up, it was like, oh, people going to my parents' house, like, just refinance, you get more money. But not realizing you're putting them more in debt.
Sure. Yeah,
and
makes
not
sense.
what to do with,
Yeah.
instead of investing that, they're just getting more in debt. Oh, you can buy a new car, you can buy a new
of course.
TV.
Yeah.
But just putting them more in debt with the mortgage.
Yeah, sure. And the debt has never been really good debt.
Yeah.
It's always been like new cars, new this.
Cars, keeping up with the Joneses.
Yeah. Keeping up with the Dela Cruzes.
With the Dela Cruzes. With the Juans.
Yeah, with the Juans. Yeah, cool. Look, I get it. And you guys know my story, but my parents had poor advice kind of growing up. They were Filipino, they just absorbed whatever because it made sense to them. And they were just like, yeah, cool. They just kept saying yes.
Yes, exactly.
Fast forward, they realized that they've kind of been exposed to kind of poor advice, and then broke my heart. And I was just like, no, there should be a better way. There should be some proper advice. There should be some proper visibility on, because everything has pros and cons. Investing has pros and cons.
Yes.
Brand new has pros and cons.
Yeah,
right? Existing property has SMSF. All that pros and cons, but I think in our community, everything's pro. There's never been a con conversation, right?
Yes.
Or like the risks going into it. And it's great that you have calculated risks. Congratulations on that. But let's be honest, right? Like a lot of the people that maybe that have invested, they've invested in the wrong properties too. Like your story, you've made money, like you made close to 1.5 million bucks worth of equity on right decision over the last 2.5 years. Which is
so fast.
Which is insane. Yeah.
Yes.
Like to even earn $1 million in liquidity will take a long time. But you guys have done that fairly quickly. And you guys should be proud. But a lot of people in our community haven't had that experience to do so. And that's obviously what inspired us to kind of just give more visibility on what we do. And that's great. So what is next for you guys?
Well, I don't know. We were just talking about that. I don't know if you remember, but remember our first conversation with the whole refinance?
Yeah.
And then I told you, Lucky, I want to get a bigger house.
Get there. All right.
Remember?
We got there.
Yeah.
Cool. This is a common planning session now.
But mind you though, I wasn't in that conversation.
We discussed that and we're like, when is that next step?
Love it. Okay, cool.
Now that we've got 2 investment properties.
Love it. This is off the cuff, by the way. We're going to be doing a bit of planning now. Yeah. I'm going to do your farm and we're going to do some planning together. And I like actually doing this because people do get to see how kind of my head operates and how it works. So let's kind of get into it. The reasoning why you bought an investment property was actually because of that.
Yeah. Because at the time you said, oh, you guys can't afford it,
Can't.
but you can't get your dream home, but we're going to do this to get there, like a stepping stone to get to that dream.
Correct. So there's kind of 2 angles you have now. So I love the fact that you have an investment property that grew. Obviously, there's a lot of equity here. there's probably be 2 or 3 things that can be done to now achieve what you want to do. So 4 or 5 years ago, we talked about you kind of getting into the house that you wanted to, right? Upgrading your home, which is
house,
fine. Yeah, bigger house, fine.
Yeah.
Right, you guys have a massive family. And you guys want to do that. Fantastic. At that time, couldn't be done.
Yeah.
Sure. We're like, all right, cool. It is what it is. Let's move forward.
Mm-hmm.
Now we've collected a couple of properties. You have these 2, and I know we're working on a couple in the background. I won't talk about that just yet because I'm just talking about the 2 that's erect.
Yep.
Erect. Sorry. I always use that word because that's the best way to describe a house getting built. Not like. Anyways, yeah. So the way that I would do it, you got 2 components here.
Yeah.
The first one is you have equity in all these properties. You have your Colby, you have and the other 2, right? And you guys have done fairly well only for the small amount of portfolio, by the way.
Yep.
So what you could do is the following. You can either cash out and buy more properties like we have in the back, or we can sell everything. You could sell the 2 investment properties, and then you could also sell the Colby to then get your dream home. The good thing about that is because you've got so much profit in these properties, your debt on a bigger home is probably going to be smaller, right? Unlike a lot of people who get into big homes, usually have bigger debt, right? You guys can get into a bigger home, but probably a smaller debt than you have in Colby, which is awesome because you have made so much money on the investments. Thank you for taking the advice. So that could be done. If you want to keep on investing, there's a couple of things that could be done. The first thing that we could do is, obviously we talked about your super and just keep investing via SMSF. Or what we could do is the following. We can sell the investment properties in Colby, look at your borrowing capacity for the purchase property. And if there's anything left over, right, that could then buy an investment. Meaning you could have your cake and eat adobo too. Yeah. So that's what you could do. And you could do that. You could swing that, right? I think if you leave it as it is currently, you probably can't get that dream home because purely because of servicing and capacity. However, if you sell those 3, I think you could actually get into your dream home, number 1. And I still think you can still invest. I don't think it would be a brand new property. I think it'd be more existing kind of 350, 400,000 for yield. That way you could have maybe some tax adjustments for that. I think that's going to be the play, right? While still doing SMSF. So I think we review that once the WA property is about to complete because we could sell that literally tomorrow for a very good number. And same thing with Colby for a very good number. That's what I think. I also think when to sell it, I would do it when rates drop. I won't do it now. It should drum up a lot more interest. I think a lot of the moving parts of that is just buyer sentiment. So you, instead of getting 10 people in your open home, you probably get 15, right? And that remaining 5 is just a lot of people are on the fence right now regarding interest rates, right? And when that cuts, it's going to give them the confidence to do so. The repayments are not going to change that much, but it will give, I think the rate's going to give more of a psyche, more of a psyche understanding of what it is. That's what I think you should do. Thoughts?
Sounds good.
Things to consider. We haven't really spoken too much about it, but that is sort of what's on the cards.
We didn't know the value of the property.
Yeah, it's all kind of new, so. We're like, well,
like
we
what?
have that much.
Sell the property now. Yeah, that's good. Well, before we kind of finish this podcast, I do want to I've got a couple of questions, right? And it's just like, it's just going to be nice and quick. Is there a purchase that you made that you wish you could take back? So D&M. Any purchase?
No.
Okay, thank you.
No.
If you weren't doing what you were doing, what would you do, Eric?
Oh, I'll be a basketball player.
Would you?
Yeah, 100%. Right?
Yeah, for which team?
I don't know yet.
The Liverpool Panthers. No, I don't know. How about you? How about you, Joe?
I could be a stay-at-home mom, I think.
Yeah?
If I wasn't doing work.
Stay-at-home mum is a full-time job.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Shout out to all the mothers out there.
Yes.
You guys are queens. Is there if everything tomorrow was gone, and how would you rebuild it? Far out. That's so intense. Like, I know.
How we rebuild it.
It is. If everything was gone tomorrow, what would you do?
What would we do? So we can have our family together.
Ooh,
that's all.
What an answer.
That really would organize.
That's probably what I would do. I'd probably move in with
I'll move in with my parents.
my mum. Yeah, absolutely. And then if someone give you $1 million right now, not someone will because it's already in your equity. But if someone give you another $1 million in cash, like, what would you do? Like, what would you do right now? You say you do a scratchy downstairs, you scratch it up.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I've got $1 million right now. What's the first thing you would do?
Buy a dream home.
Buy her dream home.
We'll keep all the 3 properties.
Okay, cool.
Oh.
This guy is so intense about keeping the properties.
No,
it's good.
No, that's where I think we kind of lock heads a little bit. But
you know what? I think that and that's what I'm saying. Like, I think you want your dream, and he wants his dream. I think the best way to do it is seeing if you could do both. But with the current situation, I don't think it's possible. But I think with a couple of tweaks and a couple of planning, I think it could
eventually.
Be it could be.
The
you
extra
know me,
$1 million will help.
I will make it.
I'll make it happen.
The extra $1 million. Cool. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming through. You guys have driven all the way here. I appreciate both of you. Appreciate you. And look, I can say thank you. You guys have done so well in your property investing journey. I want to be part of that further. I think that a lot of people could learn something from your stories, especially our community, your community. And hopefully we're involved with helping you with that dream house and kind of planning, the remainder of your years. So we could help you retire very, very comfortably. And you guys could do it now, but instead you guys keep working. So thank you so much for coming on the podcast, and I appreciate you.
No,
I
thank
appreciate
you.
it, Lucky.
Yeah, take care,
Thank
guys.
you.
Yeah, love you too. See you guys.